Welcome to my first video blog, and I hope you enjoy the content. Today we're going to be talking about common courtesy, or maybe not so common courtesy, or as I like to call it, uncommon courtesy. You know, we've all know what common courtesy is, and we've all experienced it when somebody holds a door open for us or does something that we would normally expect. But we also know how it makes us feel when somebody lets that door go in our face, or when we've opened the door for them, they then don't say thank you. Or we're trying to have a conversation with somebody and they're typing away on their phone. Or you're walking along the high street and somebody walks into you because they're too busy bloody texting on their mobile phones. Now, I know that last comment about the mobile phones might actually cause some of you to roll your eyes. Modern technology is, of course, invaluable when it comes to running a business these days. But in today's society, where everybody is so busy looking down, and a huge percentage of those small businesses are conducted online today, has common courtesy become uncommon? A mate of my wife just recently had ordered a new dress for her daughter's prom. Paid quite a bit of money for it because it was a specialist dress. And she's waiting for it, and she ordered it 6 months in advance, and we're coming quickly up to the date when it was supposed to be delivered, and there's nothing. So she gave it a couple more days, waited, nothing, and then sent a really polite email to the supplier. Nothing come back again for another 2 days, and then a really terse, rude reply come from that person, almost telling my wife's mate to just be quiet and wait for it, because when you're making a dress of this quality, things happen. So, you know, my wife's mate waited another 2 weeks, and now we're sort of 2 weeks away from the actual prom, and they still haven't got the dress. So she's made a phone call to receive, it's not ready yet, just wait and it'll be there, at which my wife's mate cancelled the dress and decided to go and buy one off the peg. Now, not quite the sort of customer experience or common courtesy that you would expect these days, or is it? On the other hand, another example, another friend had ordered a tie for her granddad's birthday online, and it came on time, but by the time it had got there, unfortunately, her granddad had died. So she sent the tie back and explaining what had happened, and instead of a barrage of abuse, what she actually got was obviously her money back. She also got a condolences note and a nice bunch of flowers sent to her, and, you know, saying how sorry they were to hear about her passing of her granddad. Now, can you imagine just the difference between those two examples? The prevalence of mobile phones on social media in today's society often has a lot to answer for. On the one hand, they can be incredibly useful tools in allowing us to run our business basically from anywhere in the world if we choose to do that. And it's good at telling us that we've got a dentist appointment at 4 o'clock, or we've got to go and pick up the cat's medication at the same time. But on the other hand, there are a few things that are more frustrating than trying to conduct a meeting about business, or even a social media meeting for that matter, with someone who can't stop looking at their bloody telephone every 5 seconds. Turn it off, put it on silent, leave it in your pocket. The second it's on the table vibrating and buzzing away, that person in front of you is just looking down at that blooming telephone. You know, it's the common courtesy of paying somebody attention seems to have gone out the window. And when it comes to your own business, it's never a bad thing to review your customer service. And you'll often find that those who go above and beyond in this area are rewarded with more contacts. When it comes to your own business, it's never a bad thing to review your customer service and see if you're offering a common courtesy. You know, and that way you are more likely to be rewarded with more contacts, more referrals, and repeat customers. Here are some of my top tips. Paying attention to names. It might sound obvious, but when it comes to networking and building a customer base, remembering someone's name can be vital. It proves you've engaged fully with that person and have listened to what they've got to say. If you don't hear them the first time, ask them, how do you pronounce that name? How do you say that? How would you like to be referred to? Taking that time to actually listen and remember somebody's name can make a big difference to your business. Greetings. How do you greet somebody? This sounds like an obvious one, doesn't it? But whether it be in person, over the phone, or via email or text, everyone likes to receive a friendly hello, how are you? Hope you're well. It establishes rapport as well as being polite. It will also make people remember you as a friendly individual. Handshakes and eye contact. If you're meeting with somebody in person, a handshake is a universal business greeting, and coupled with eye contact and a smile gives a positive first impression of someone who is engaging and honest. Handwritten notes. This particularly applies if you run a business where you might be sending products out to your customers that have ordered online. A thank you email is nice. However, it isn't seen as personal a gesture as something customized and handwritten. This is especially important if it's to a repeat customer or a large account. It may take a little more of your time, but in the end, it will make a difference and it will stand you out in the long run against your competitors. Check for grammar mistakes and typos. That's ironic coming from me who's dyslexic, and I thank heaven for spell check and Grammarly. But again, this sounds obvious, but if you're running a business, then chances are you spend a lot of time communicating through emails. Take a few seconds extra to properly proofread each one before you press send. It could be the difference between looking professional and courteous or sloppy and uninterested. Being on time. This one for me is so important. You know, I learned really early on in life it's better to be an hour early than a minute late. In today's society where everybody's rushing around and time is such a precious commodity, punctuality is critical. Whether it be on arriving on time for a meeting, ensuring that that package gets to the customer when you said it would, or meeting that deadline, future orders, referrals and recommendations absolutely depend on it. If you say you're going to do it, do it. Make sure you're on time. Put away your phone. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The mobile phone has all but killed common courtesy in most social situations. How many times do you see people walking around with their phone in their hand? Everybody. Don't let it affect your business too. Of course, your phone is essential when it comes to running your business, but it's impossible to give someone your full attention when you're distracted by your phone. So put it away. Honestly, that text, email, Twitter, notification can wait. There is no substitute for human interaction. And finally, complaining. In a word, don't do it. Stop complaining. There's always going to be something that goes wrong. There's always bad days in business and good days. That's just the nature of things. But stop complaining about it, because complaining about it to your customers or to your employees or to anybody, it doesn't serve any purpose. Just shut up and get on with it. You know, let's turn a negative into a positive and look for solutions rather than the problems in it. You know, a sorry to your customer, you know, sorry about the delay, they will actually appreciate it, and they will come back to you time and time again. You might be thinking that you already follow all these rules and that uncommon courtesy doesn't apply to you or your business. But let's face it, in today's fast-paced world where the next big business is nipping at your heels, it doesn't hurt to make sure that your business stands out as the politest in the industry. Your customers will thank you for it by coming back again and again. Now, as always, do it now. And if you've enjoyed this video, please watch the next video just here, or subscribe to my YouTube channel just here.